Final update. My parents bought my brother a new BMW for graduation. While I opened my gift, a bill for their debts, my mom smiled and said, "It's only fair." I packed my things and disappeared. Weeks later, they called panicked. "Please, we didn't mean it." I leaned back in my chair, staring out the window. A rush of satisfaction washed over me, mixed with something darker. They had chosen Jason. They had handed him a car and thrown my efforts in my face, and now with all their mistakes catching up to them, they were losing it all. I wanted to gloat to rub it in their faces, but I didn't say a word for a long time. Jason kept talking, his voice breaking, but I couldn't bring myself to feel sympathy. Finally, I spoke, my voice firm. "Jason, you didn't have to lose the car. You should have known this would happen, that they wouldn't have the means to keep up. They always expect me to clean up their mess, but this time I wasn't there to pick up the pieces." Jason was silent. I warned them too. I continued, my words sharp. Now, when they handed me that bill, instead of a gift, I told them it would come back to bite them, and now it has. Jason's voice grew desperate. "Daniel, please, I know this is messed up, but they didn't mean for this to happen. We never wanted it to turn out like this." I paused, savoring the feeling of power. In this moment, I had finally broken free from their grip from the years of being second place. "You know what, Jason?" I said, coldly. "Maybe it's a lesson they needed to learn the hard way. If they'd been a little more thoughtful, they wouldn't be in this situation. Now I hope it stings." Jason started crying, and for a second I almost felt guilty, but then the image of my parents' smug smiles when they handed me that bill flashed in my mind. I didn't feel guilty. Jason's sobs echoed through the phone, but I didn't offer comfort. Instead, I hung up, and for the first time, I felt a sense of justice. The scales were balanced, and my family was finally learning the consequences of their actions. The next few days were quiet. I kept to myself, staying in the Airbnb, not responding to any messages or calls. I wasn't even checking my phone much except to catch up on work. It felt freeing. Honestly, I didn't have to deal with anyone's drama anymore. Then on Sunday afternoon, I got a call from an unknown number. I was about to ignore it, but something inside me told me it was time to face it head on. I picked up Daniel. My mom's voice came through, shaky and desperate. "Please, can you just hear us out?" I didn't answer immediately. Instead, I leaned back in my chair, slowly exhaling. It had taken them this long to come to me, and it felt good to know they were finally on the other end of the phone. "Daniel, we know we messed up," she continued. "We never should have put all that pressure on you. We should have been better. We're so sorry. Please come back. We'll fix everything. Just come home." I could hear the pleading in her voice, but it didn't move me. This was the same woman who had always told me to be responsible while giving Jason whatever he wanted. The same woman who, instead of appreciating my hard work, had handed me a bill for their failures. "Mom, you're sorry," I said, slowly letting the sarcasm drip into my words. "You're sorry for what? Exactly?" "Buying Jason a car while I was left to handle your mess. Is that what you're sorry for, or are you sorry because you had to sell it?" There was silence on the other end. I could almost hear her brain trying to process the reality of what she had done sinking in. "Daniel, we never meant for things to get this bad," my mom said, her voice breaking now. "Please just come back. We'll do whatever it takes to make it right. You're still our son and we love you." I rolled my eyes, even though she couldn't see me. It felt almost pathetic hearing her beg after everything they had put me through. "I'm sure you love me," I said, my tone flat, "but love doesn't fix years of favoritism and neglect. You didn't think about me once when you made those decisions?" "Not once." I paused, letting that sink in. Then I added, "And frankly, I don't need your apology. It's too late for that. You should have thought about this before." The line went quiet again and I could feel my anger building, but I kept it cool, just like I'd learned to over the years. "I'm not coming home. Mom, you made your choices and now you're living with the consequences. I'm not here to clean up your mess anymore." There was a long drawn-out pause, and then my dad's voice came on the line, sounding strained, desperate. "Daniel, please, we were wrong. We see that now. We didn't mean for it to come to this. We never meant to push you away." I let out a low laugh and my voice dripped with contempt. "You didn't mean to push me away? Well, you sure have a funny way of showing it. You bought a car for Jason, handed me a bill and expected me to just keep taking it. You didn't push me away. You kicked me to the curb. Please, son." My dad's voice cracked. "We were just trying to give Jason something. We wanted him to feel proud of his graduation, and we thought that would make it right, but we've realized it wasn't worth it. Not if it meant losing you." It almost felt like they were groveling now, and the power was entirely in my hands. "You're right about one thing, Dad," I said, my voice sharp. "You lost me, and you're not getting me back. Just because you've suddenly realized your mistakes." I paused, letting the silence stretch out between us. "I'm done here," I added coldly. "So keep your apologies, keep your guilt, and next time you want to celebrate someone, maybe think about who you're leaving in the dust." Without waiting for a response, I ended the call. I stared at my phone for a long time. The satisfaction of finally putting my foot down, sinking in. They had taken me for granted for far too long, but now they knew what it felt like to lose me. I could hear their apologies echoing in my mind, but it didn't matter. They had had their chance and now they would have to live with the consequences. Weeks passed after that phone call, and I didn't hear from them again. The silence was almost louder than the chaos that had led up to that moment. I kept going about my life, working, enjoying the peace and freedom I fought so hard to create. Then one afternoon a package arrived. It was for my parents. I stared at it for a while, unsure of what it could be. The thought of them trying to contact me again made me hesitant, but curiosity won over. I opened the package. Inside was a simple letter, handwritten, the paper creased from being folded too many times. "Daniel, we don't expect you to forgive us. We know we hurt you, and we've realized we've lost something far more important than a car or a gift we could never afford to give you. But we want you to know we're sorry and we'll always love you even if you never come back. Please don't forget that." I read the letter twice. My eyes scanning over the words, feeling nothing. It wasn't enough. It wasn't even close. I threw the letter into the trash without a second thought. The satisfaction of not being swayed by their last-ditch effort, settling in. I wasn't angry anymore, just indifferent for Jason. I'd received a few more texts from him, apologizing for being caught in the middle. I ignored them too. He had chosen his side. He would have to live with the consequences of that choice. Life went on. I kept growing my business, kept moving forward with my plans. It was all on my terms now, and I wasn't about to let anyone, least of all my family, take that from me. And as for them, well, they would always have their regrets, but at least I didn't have to carry the weight of theirs anymore. The end had come, but it wasn't a tragic one. It was a reminder that sometimes you have to step away from the people who never gave you a chance to be seen so that you can finally see yourself clearly. For me, this was the beginning of a new chapter. At the end of the day, Daniel made a bold choice. He stopped letting his family's actions dictate his worth. It wasn't easy, but by walking away, he finally took control of his own future. It's a hard truth, but sometimes the most important relationship you can nurture is the one with yourself. What do you think, was Daniel right to leave, or should he have given his family another chance?